प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the Bhagavad Gita discussion on the Sarartha Varshani Tika of Srila Vishwanath Chakra Thakur and the Rasik Ranjan sub commentary to the Sarartha Varshani by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. For the last few days, we were discussing in the fourth chapter how Karma Yoga is Dharma. Because ultimately, Krishna is teaching Arjuna Nishkama Karma Yoga and how this is not going to bind you. So that's why he goes into the whole philosophy of what is karma, what is akarma, and what is vikarma. And then this is a very, puzzling and enigmatic verse, which is a brain twister and a tongue twister. Akarmana karmanya akarmaya pashet, akarmani cha karmaya sabuddhiman manusheshu, sayukta krishna karmakrit. One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction. So this is what is this inaction in action and action in inaction? We practically spent one entire class on this. So I'm not going to go into that now. And this is expanded in 5 verses. We saw that, what is the consciousness of a person who performs such kind of Nishkam Karma Yoga? He does all his actions with Kama Sankalpa Vakjita. And that's why that fire of knowledge, Dagda, Karmanam, it burns the karma. So there is no reaction only. So that's why he's a Pandita. And the wise recognize him like that. And then Tektva Karma Phala Sangam, Nitya Trupto Nirasha. So why his consciousness is not absorbed in the fruit? Because he's absorbed in the bliss of the Atma. And although he's engaged, Karmanya Abhipravrittopi, Naiva Kinchit Karotiya, he's as good as he's not doing anything. And then Nirashir Yata Chittatma. So this is on a little higher level I mentioned, where there is a control of the mind, body, senses of the soul, which is Shama, which is, we can somehow, relate to Nishtha stage I mentioned. It's not exactly Nishtha stage, but very steady stage where the mind is controlled, because uh, Nishtha symptoms are mentioned where there is, control of the mind, control of the senses, there is control of the words, Vacha, Manasa, and Kaya, all three. And this is what Vishwanath Chakra Thakur also discusses the symptoms of Nishtha stage. So that's why I compared that. So Tektva Sarva Parigraha, he's free from all possessive mentality, And then Gata Sangasya Yadricha Labh Santushto Siddha Siddha Sama Kritvapi na Vidyate, and Gata Sangasya Muktasya Jnana Avasthita Chetasa. Jnana Avasthita Chetasa. And he performs his actions for Yagya. Yagyaya Acharita Karma. Samagram Pravilite. That's why he does not acquire any karmic reaction. So when the Yagya is mentioned, now the definition of Yagya is given. Brahmarpanam, Brahmavir, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmeva Tena Gantavya, Brahma Karma Samadhina. So we saw the concept of Yagya, the definition of Yagya. Arpanam is the ladle, spoon. It is Brahman. And Brahmahavi, within the spoon there is the ghee, which is also Brahman. We see it as Brahman. And Brahmagno, the fire is the mouth of Vishnu, that is also Brahman. And Brahmana Hutam, he is a Brahmana, he is a priest. He is also spirit soul, Brahman. So when we see all this like this, Brahmena Tena Gantavya. So we will attain Brahman because all our activities are absorbed in all our actions are of Brahman, of the nature of Brahman. So having mentioned this now, uh, now from the next section onwards, uh, Krishna will speak about these different types of yagyas, achieving gyan through yagyas. Because yagya, we saw that gyan. What is that gyan? We saw how The battlefield is the Yajnasthali, no? And the ladle is the Gandiva bow. The Ahuti is the Kauravas in the Gandiva bow. And it is being offered in the fire of the mouth of Vishnu, universal form. So we saw this. So that is how this Yajna, Jnane Parisamapate, it will come up in the verses. So achieving Gyan through sacrifices is what we are going to see. Now, I have summarized all these different types of yajnas which, it is mentioned. We have seen now 424. Brahmarpanam is the ladle. It is seen as Brahman. Brahma Havi, the ghee, oblation, which is offered, the ingredients, that ghee is also seen as Brahman. Brahmagnu, it's also Brahman. Brahmanahutam, the sponsor and the priest, the doer, he is the Brahman. And Brahmeva Tena Gantavya, the result, the phala is that he'll get Brahman. Because action performed for revelation of Brahman. So the actions are performed for revelation of Brahman. Of course, here's the spelling mistake, we'll change it. So now the different other types of sacrifices are mentioned now. So I'll refer to this chart. And what is going to change here, in the other sacrifices, you will see that the fire, Brahmagnu, and the offering, oblation, Brahmavi. So this will going to change, and ultimately, the Gantavya also will change accordingly. And we will see that. And please try to understand. This is a little technical. Not technical, I can say it's philosophical. When I say technical, somehow I don't like that term. It's philosophical. So let us see this now. दैवमेवापरे यज्ञं योगिनः पर्युपासते ब्रह्माज्ञावपरे यज्ञं यज्ञेवोपजीवति. Others, however, apare. So that yajna 424 mentioned of one kind of yajna. There are others. However, who are they? Yogina, the karma yogis. So karma yogis they are called. Engage in worship of devatas. Daivam yagyam pari upasate. This is pari upasate. Pari upasate it is. Pari and upasate means they worship. And they worship whom? The devatas. Yagya. So there are others, they are karma yogis, they engage in the worship of the devatas. And there are jnana yogis, apare. Offer, upajivati. They offer what? The jiva, yagyam, into the fire of Brahman, Brahmagno, by the means of the mantra Om, Yagena, Yagenena. So let's see this. Let's see the commentary and then we will go. Now, interestingly, please note here that here, where is my pen? Oh, I have not connected it. Let me connect my tablet. Please hear very carefully and try to understand. Okay. Okay, let me finish the explanation of the verse by Vishwanath Chakravarti and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and then I will start, more explaining this verse. So, okay, let's go to Vishwanath Chakravarti. Here about the many other types of yajnas, Vishwanath Chakravarti. The Lord explains this in 8 verses. So from 25, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So from 25 to 32, in 8 verses, these different types of yajnas are mentioned. This is from verse 25 to 32. Daivam refers to that which devatas like Indra and Varuna are worshipped. Thus, the phrase Daivam Yajnam means having Indra and other devas as subject. This is derived from the rule Sasya Devata, Anta Adhyaye Panini. So, this is based on some Sanskrit grammar rule, which I am also not. In this worship, it is indicated that there is a lack of consciousness of Brahman. Lack of consciousness of Brahman. Brahman means it is spiritual, the soul or the Brahma Jyoti, whatever. It's transcendental. But here they are worshipping the devas which are belonging to this world. Now, Vishwanath Chakravarti further. The Karma Yogis, Yogina, worship the devatas. So please mark here, they are called as Karma Yogis. They worship the devatas. So why we'll see that, Others, the Gyan Yogis, offer the Jiva. Now, offer the Jiva. Now we know these five terms I told: Brahmarpanam, Brahmavir, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmena Tena Gantavya, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Gantavya is the fifth one. So what is this offer the Jiva? What it is? Brahmarpanam or Brahmavi or Brahmagno or Brahmanahutam or Gantavya? What is it? Who will answer? Just think about it. Take some time. Think about it. No hurry. Who will answer? Keshavnath Prasad Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I just joined in. So,
Yesterday you were there in the
yeah.
class?
Uh, Yesterday I was there, Prabhuji. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
What
yesterday
is
we discussed this Brahma,
okay?
Brahma
What?
Arpanam.
Okay. What is the question actually?
Okay, I will just go back again to the chart. Brahma
Okay.
Arpanam. Okay.
Okay.
Arpanam is the ladle used in the yagya,
Mhm.
the instrument of offering.
Mhm.
So 424 said it is Brahma Arpanam. So that ladle you see it as spiritual. You don't see it as material because it is energy of the Lord, and energy and energetic are non-different. That is your consciousness. Brahma Havi refers to the ghee, the oblations or the ingredients which you offer. That is also Brahman. Brahmagno, the fire. The fire is also Brahman. Vishnu's mouth is the fire, no?
Yeah.
So that is also seen as. Then Brahmana Hutam, the priest. He's also spirit soul. He's Atma. He's Brahman. And that's why he will attain Brahman. Brahmena tena gantavya. The result also will be Brahman. So now in this verse, this Daivam evapare yagyam yogino paripasate, it is mentioned that they worship these devtas, and these are the karma yogis. Now the Gyan yogis offer the jiva, they are saying. So what is it? This is Brahmarpanam or Brahmavi? What is it? Is my question.
Okay. Sorry, I was not there yesterday, Prabhuji. I just realized. So I'm not
Oh,
sure if this was taught.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if you miss something in between, then the whole connection gets lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You'll have to catch up. Okay. Yeah. Yes, who will answer? Who will answer this? Natbar Gaur Prabhu.
It is, I think, Prabhuji, Brahmana purple,
Pardon?
Brahma purple, Brahma Parna.
Pardon? Can you speak a little loudly, please?
Yeah, I think it is Brahma Parnam.
Acha, Brahmarpanam we mentioned as a ladle, correct?
Yeah, is offered to Jiva, I think.
Spoon, okay. Now, in the spoon, you have to have some ingredient to offer, right?
Yeah,
That is Brahma Havir, it was mentioned. The oblation. Oblation means you understand, right?
yeah, obligation to offer something.
Oblation. So, whether it is now Brahma Arpanam or Brahma Havir, whether it is the oblation or whether it is, what is it?
I think Brahmana Havir.
It is Havir, offering. It is the oblation. Brahma Havir it is. This is the oblation. Brahmavir. So what is called Tvam? Tvam is you the Atma. As the oblation, it is here, say answer is there. Into the fire of Brahman or Paramatma, what is called as Tat, the Tat Padartha. The absolute truth is called as Tat, na, sometimes. Using the mantra Pranava as the instrument. Hmm. So the instrument is, the Arpanam. The instrument, it is Arpanam. Arpanam. So this is the Brahm Agno. Brahm Agno. So please try to understand this carefully. This Gyan Yoga is praised later in verse 32. So this is Gyan Yoga. Okay. The words Yagya and Yagnenena used as object and instrument refer to the pure Jiva and Pranava through the use of a metaphor called Pratama Atishokti. So yagya, yagena basically is the one is the object and the instrument, yagena, you know. So the verse, I'll go to the verse. Yagena upajivati. Yagena, the mantra om, you know. So that is, it is, arpanam, So the mantra om, om, the chant, no? This om mantra, the chant, no? So like that. So there are two yagyas mentioned. One is the karma yogis who worship the devtas in this verse. And then there are the Gyan yogis who worship the Brahman and they offer the pure jiva, the Tvam Padarth into the Tat Padarth, and what they attain the Gantavya, who will tell me? Let us see who will answer. What will be their Gantavya? Gantavya, what will be their Gantavya? What will be the destination of the Gyan yogis? What will be their destination? Natvarg or Prabhu? You only answer.
It is liberation, Prabhuji.
Yes, it is liberation. They will liberate in Brahman. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes it very clear. Those who take a vow to perform yajna are called yogis. So, I mentioned technically, karma kandis are not actually, there's, sakama karma yogis, you might say, but, there is no yoga. Yoga means sakama karma yoga, or karma kanda we say, or sakama karma we say, but not yoga. Why yoga? Because yoga means it has to link to spirit soul to realize the self, or it has to link to Brahman, the impersonal effulgence. So the goal should be transcendental. Then only it is called as yoga. Whereas the goal of the worship of the devatas is heaven. So the Vedas are like bridge. They connect us, when it connects to up till heaven, it is called as karma yoga. Not exactly karma yoga. Here you can say sakama karma. And yoga is used the word because they take a vow to perform yajna. They take a vow to perform yajna. That's why they're termed as yogis. So another thing is also as they advance, there is a purification of the goal which happens. Like I'm giving an a simple example. A child, might be pushed by the parents to go to the school so that every day evening he'll get a chocolate. So he's motivated by the means, the chocolate. The ends is actually to attain knowledge. But as he starts going to the school and starts learning and he starts absorbing himself in studying and he uh, gets interested in the subject, then he is, no more that fruit of, oh, when I go back, I'll get chocolate. He's not motivated. So there is a purification of the goal happening. So gradually, like that, Sakama Karma yogis go through that. And because they have taken a vow to perform yajna, they are called as yogis. There are various types of yajna according to different aptitudes of the yogis. In fact, there are as many varieties of yajnas as there are types of yogis. So as many types of yogis, that much varieties of yajnas. Based on scientific understanding, all yajnas can be divided into general divisions. Karma yajna, consisting of sacrificial offerings. Jnana yajna, sacrifice in the form of deliberation of the spiritual reality. Chit tattva. That is the soul, Atma. Hmm. This is karma yoga, where there is a sacrificial offerings of the ingredients, where you offer these ingredients. This will be explained further on. Now, please hear as I explain some varieties of yajna. Perform their worship. What suddenly perform their worship? Why it has come like this? Perform their worship. Let me see the original commentary. The karma yogis. No, completely that term is gone. The karma yogis. Perform their worship through the worship of my authorized representatives. So They're worshipping my authorized representatives. My means Krishna is telling this, such as Indra and Varuna, who are my eternal potency, external potency, sorry, are gifted with specific powers. So in way, they are indirectly linking to Krishna through the demigods. By such worship, the Karma Yogis gradually come to the stage of selfless offering of fruit of their endeavors to Bhagavan, Nishkam Karma Yoga. So from this Sakama Karma Yoga, you come to Nishkam Karma Yoga. That's what we have studied in the third chapter also. The sacrifice of the Gyan Yogis consists of offering themselves, Tvam Padartha. So what is this Tvam Padartha? The, the Atma itself. As the ghee. So this is Brahma Havi into the fire of the absolute truth, Tat Padarth. So this is the Brahmagno. By reciting the Pranava mantra Om, or having taken shelter of the great axiom, Tattvam Asi, you are his servant. No, they interpret, the Mayavadis interpret Tattvam Asi, you are that absolute truth. But here it is, you are his servant. Tattvam Asi. The superiority of this sacrifice in the form of deliberation of spiritual reality will be explained later on. Later on, one more verse will explain. So here, actually, now let's a little summarize this. And here it is mentioned. So now Brahmarpanam, the ladle, it is seen as material. It is not seen as spiritual. And the Dravya, they offer different types of ingredients in the yagyas, whatever is required, to go to heaven. And Agno, they make Indra and all the demigods, different demigods, who are representatives of the Lord. And actually, the Brahmana is Atma, but they seem as body, you know, and the Gantavya is the heaven. This is Kama Karma. Now, I mentioned because here the Sakama Karma Yoga is mentioned here. Again, here also it is the same, but basically, what has happened? There is a gradual elevation happening, and that's why it is called as Sakama Karma Yoga. The Karma Yogis, it is mentioned. Although there is yoga means connection to transcendence or connection to the Brahman, which is the Atma, or the Brahman, which is the impersonal Brahman Jyoti. So only when the connection is linked to spiritual reality, then only it is yoga. But there is gradual, elevation happening. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is clarifying that they have taken a vow to perform yajna. That's why they are called as Karma Yogis, like that. So the Gyanis, they offer the jiva hmm, into the fire of Brahman or Paramatma. And what they are themselves Atma, and they will attain the impersonal Brahma Jyoti. You know? And the chanting is I did not write here, Pranava Omkar. And this is the Gyan Yoga path. So I hope this is making sense now, right? So having understood this, if you have any questions, because this first thing you have to understand. If you don't understand this first verse, then all the next verses will not understand. So I'm just opening the floor for any questions, clarifications you have, so that we can go ahead. Once you have understood this verse, and all the rest verses are very simple to understand. So any questions you have on this, you can raise your hands. You're free to raise your hands. Any questions, any clarifications? Did you understand also? Did you understand Natwar Gaur Prabhuji? Yeah, Vinita Mataji. Yes.
Um, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the of yagya or the havan that we do at home during some puja and all, then what is that considered as? Like we do it for Lord Vishnu, right?
Hmm.
So what is that considered as?
But what does that mean? What is your question? Whether
My question
what
is
is
to
Brahmarpanam?
understand that, yeah, means how the all that activities that we do, like in the name of
No,
sacrifice
first,
and
first,
offerings.
first thing you have to understand the concept of yajna. Have you
Okay.
understood what is Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, Brahmena Ten Gantavya? That is very
Yeah.
important.
theory I have, like, it has not cracked into the brain.
Yeah. So that's why now you have to. Now it all depends on the consciousness of the Yajman.
Okay.
So whether he is seeing the ingredients as Brahman, whether he is doing it for the pleasure of Brahman, whether he is doing it for, you know, for attaining Brahman. Now here for us, Brahman is Supreme Brahman, Krishna.
Mm.
So then from that you can understand, and generally that level of consciousness is a very lofty level of consciousness to see everything as Brahman.
Okay, means up till now what we were doing was all mechanical.
No, it is not mechanical, it is spiritual, but it is
Mm.
more ritual. From ritual, it was
Okay.
to come to a spiritual level.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
got it.
you can be doing a yajna, and based on your level of consciousness, you can see. Like, did you ever think that the battlefield of Kurukshetra is a yajna stali?
No.
Then the whole
Mm.
envisioning the whole battlefield as a yajna, it's a yajna, it was happening. And the
Mm.
arrow is what now?
Ladle, no?
Ladle. And in the arrow
Yeah.
there are what? Ahuti is what?
Oh.
The Kauravas.
Kauravas, yes.
And they are
Ahutis,
being offered in
Kauravas.
the mouth of
Lord Krishna.
universal form. That is
Universal.
Brahmagno. So when you can see like that, then that's why it depends on the level of consciousness of the doer. So we cannot see and we cannot understand. But
Mm.
whatever level they are doing, when they are sitting in the yajna, they are chanting the mantras, and especially when it is a Vaishnava yajna,
Mm.
Vishnu's, you know, Mahamantra is taken, and that's why it is having a complete different result. For them also, they get bhakti samskars. If it is a
Mm.
Devata yagya also, we have to remember Om Indraya Swaha. These mantras they are chanting for
Mm.
they are doing it for Indra Devata, who is the representative of Krishna, but they are chanting first Om, and Om
Mm.
is referring to Krishna.
Krishna.
So indirectly they are taking the name of Krishna, so they are getting purified
Mm.
like that. We have to understand. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, I got it. Thank
Yeah, Navneet Kalra Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam.
Mm.
In case of the Jnana Yogi, we were discussing that Jiva is the Havi here right now.
Jiva.
And yeah, the Jiva was the Havi, right? We just discussed
No, Jiva was the oblation which they are offering. They are offering their Atma only.
Atma only. Oh, so he's Hutam as well.
Hmm?
The Jiva is the Hutam as well. He's the doer himself, right?
Yeah.
He's
He's himself. Yeah, he himself recognizes his Atma.
he's offering his own Atma into the Yajna.
Yeah, yes. So that's
Okay.
why yesterday, if you were there, we mentioned everything is a yajna in, not just the Sankirtan yajna. Our cooking also can become a yajna. Everything you have to see as a yajna, like that.
Yes, I heard the lecture, Prabhuji. I wasn't there, but I did go through the lecture.
Yeah, yesterday we mentioned that. Okay, so if it's clear now, then we move on. Now all other verses will become very, very clear to you, hopefully, and it will take time. श्रोत्रादीन्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयमाग्न्यो I don't know. संयमाग्नेषु जिह्वति शब्दादीनि विषयान् अन्य इंद्रियाग्नेषु जिह्वति. The Naishtik brahmacharis anya offer the senses. Shrotra adini indriyani. Shrotra means the ears. Adini means all others. So this is Bahuvachan. Indriyani, that's why Bahuvachan. Into the control mind. Sanyam Agneshu Jivati. Other brahmacharis, Anya, offer the sense objects. Shabdadini Vishayan. So here N is all S, please, I cannot change it now. It will take time. Into the fire of the senses. Indriyagneshu Jivati. So now anyone can tell what is the oblation and what is the fire here. Only these two things are changing. What is the oblation? What is fire? Who will answer? Let us see. Yes, Vinita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, oblations are the five senses,
Oblation of the five senses, very good.
and the fire is like to control the mind. Like,
Yeah, the controlled mind.
yes.
Sanyam Agnishu Jivati. It's very clear. And then here, the second one, other brahmacharis. This actually refers to the grahasthas, frankly speaking. Offer
Okay.
the Shabdadi
Uh,
Vishay into the. So what
uh,
is
so the sense objects,
the sense objects are what? Oblations. And
yes, oblations.
what is the fire?
And the fire is to control the sense objects or to control the senses towards the sense objects.
No, they offer it to the fire of the senses. That means the sense objects are offered to the senses,
Senses. Okay. Yes.
but
Okay.
in a controlled way. That means they enjoy sense objects,
Huh.
but in a controlled way. Like the grahasthas,
Okay.
uh, the sense object is, any of the sense objects you can say. So the yajna of, in fact, marriage is also a yajna, vivah samskar it is. And, you know, when the husband and the wife unite, that is also a yajna, you know,
Okay.
you have to see it like that because the sense object is offered to the senses in a controlled way, regulated, for procreation, for the higher purpose, to produce Krishna conscious children. So this is what it is speaking. The second, the grahasthas actually there. Others, Naishtik brahmacharis, offer the senses such as ear into the fire of the control mind. That means what happens? They control their mind so the senses don't go to the sense objects. The ears want to hear material sounds. No, no, you control it and regulate. So the senses are in one way they are completely destroyed, you can say, or disappear here. This means the senses completely disappear in the pure mind. So the senses are completely under control and the senses are like, they disappear in the pure mind, huh? Because it is a controlled mind. Others, less controlled brahmacharis, offer the sense objects such as sound into the fires of the senses. So the sense objects are offered to the senses. So this refers to specifically the grahastha brahmacharis. So grahastha brahmacharis, they also practice brahmacharya because although they have a wife, they only unite, you know, only for procreation. So that is also controlled, controlled regulation. The sense objects disappear in the senses now. Here the senses disappear in the mind. I hope you are able to understand. Okay. I will just refer Prabhupada's purport so that, I'm referring here so that you can much better appreciate and understand it. Okay. Prabhupada. The members, Brahmachari, Grihastha, all are translated. Since human life is not meant for enjoying our sense gratification, the four are arranged that one can become perfect. The brahmacharis, under the care of the Brahma, control the mind by abstaining from sense gratification. A brahmachari hears only words concerning Krishna consciousness, hearing the basic principle of understanding. Therefore, the pure brahmachari engages fully in Hare Namanukirtam chanting and he restrains himself from the vibration of material sounds. And his hearing is engaged in the transcendental sound vibration. So, this is the yajna. So, if you are hearing material sounds, then you're not performing that yajna. And then ultimately you'll have to perform the next level of yajna where the sense objects have to be offered in the senses. Similarly, the householders have some license for sense gratification, perform such acts with great restraint. And then Prabhupada is giving example of sex life. Intakes and meat eating are general tendencies, but a regulated household does not indulge in unrestricted sex life and other sin. Marriage on the principles of religious is therefore current in all sin, and because it is a way of restricted sex life. Thus, restricted, unattached sector is also kind of yagya, Prabhupada is saying. See, because the restricted householder sacrifices gentle terms to a sensual for higher transcendental life. So that's what Prabhupada mentions. So I hope you're able to understand this. सर्वेन्द्रियाणि कर्माणि प्राणकर्माणि चापरे आत्मसंयम्य योगाग्नो जिह्वति ज्ञानदीपिते. So this is again I'm referring to chart here. The senses, the Brahma Havir, they are offered in the mind, and he is the Atma. So ultimately they'll attain self-realization. These are the brahmacharis. Here, the sense objects are offered in the senses. Again, for self-realization only, to attain Brahman. These are the Grahas Brahmacharis. Okay. Now, through the method of pranayam, through the method of pranayam, this is mentioned in the next verse. Others offer apare jivati, all the activities of the senses. Sarvani indriyani karmani. Sarvani indriyani karmani. Activities of the senses. And the pranas, prana karmani, into the fire of the soul. Atma Sanyama Yogagno, lit by knowledge. Jnana Deepena. So let's see, Vishnu. Others knowable of Tvam, the pure soul, offer the activities of all the senses, such as hearing and seeing, as well as the activities of the 10 pranas, into the fire of purity of the Jiva, Tvam. So they offer the soul and all the pranas, the senses and all the pranas into the soul only, because that is also Brahman. These yogis make the mind, intelligence, senses and 10 pranas disappear. That means, I am the soul, I have nothing to do with the mind, intelligence, senses, pranas, So that is self-realization in one sense. So this is their jnana yagya. This is their yagya. They think that only the soul perceiving inward, Pratyag Atma, exists. Now, this is Pratyag Atma, Bhaktivinoda Thakur will make it clear what, not anything else, such as the mind or other things. So, there is only I am the soul, and he's only perceiving the soul, and he's not relating himself with the mind, intelligence, senses, pranas, nothing. The action of the 10 pranas are as follows. The prana goes outwards, exhaling. That is, this is prana going outwards, and the apana goes downwards, expelling. The excreta is expelled through the apana vayu. The prana vayu which goes exhaling, The saman vayu assimilates food and drink. That's why, the saman vayu is in the stomach. And if that saman vayu is disturbed, our stomach areas are disturbed. The udan vayu leads upwards. From the stomach, the burp what we get, the belch. That is the udan vayu. And the vayan is pervading, regulating the other pranas. The vayan is pervading all the body. So naga governs belching. So there are the other vayus. Kurma causes opening of the eyes. The opening and closing of the eyes are all movement because of the, air. Karkhara causes sneezing and hunger. The Devadatta causes yawning. When you yawn, this is the Devadatta vayu. And sleep. Dhananjay, pervading the whole body, lingers after death, causing decomposition. So Garanda Samhita. So all the pranayam, the pranayam yoga shastras is specifically the Garand Samhita it is. Bhaktivinoda Thakur on this. Those who are searching after Pratyag Atma, Brahma, Jivatma and Paramatma, first there is realization of Brahman, Jivatma and Paramatma, such as the Kaivalyavadi yogis like Patanjali offer the 10 types of life airs and all the activities of the senses into the fire of the purified self by chanting Tvam, Tvam, A person inclined towards self gratification is called as Paragatma. Paragatma means, Rag means, you can understand, Rag means he has attachment to enjoying the world. While a person who has renounced self gratification, Prabhupada uses this at a different terminology, is called a Pratyag Atma. Pratyag Atma. Search. Oh, again. My goodness. I think I'll have to give this to someone to do a cross check. such persons, search persons. Such persons conclude that there is nothing else in existence apart from Pratyagatma, that there is no body, mind, senses, etc. Which is the yajna which we do every day? Most important yajna which we do every day. Keshavnath Prasad Prabhuji, yes. I will ask you also, Sumit Prabhu, but first let me hear Keshavnath Prabhu. Yes.
Jap yagya, Prabhuji.
Jap yajna, okay. What is offered in the yajna? Very interesting question.
Offered and the yagya, we our mind actually we should be offering.
Mind.
I think so.
Sumit
Not
Prabhuji.
जी ये प्रभु जी इन द जपा और संकीर्तन यज्ञ वी offer our like Vani voice.
We offer our Vani. Very good. All these years we are doing Japa Yagya, but we don't know what is that Japa Yagya. And Krishna is telling in the Bhagavad Gita, Yagyanam Japa Yagyosmi. Among all the Yagyas, I am Japa Yagya. So, I'll ask you a simple question. Have you performed any Yagya at your home? Anytime?
Yeah, with some priest, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, you offer some ingredients in the Yagya, right? Right? But
Yes.
what is Krishna asking from you? What he wants? What is your greatest wealth you have? You might, offer a lot of ghee, ingredients, ahuti in the form of preparations in the yajna, but what is really Krishna want? Yes, Sri Lalita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, is it our time?
Time. Time belongs to you.
It is in our, I mean, we can use it the way we want, right? We have
No,
minute
but time is
independence.
your energy.
No.
It's Krishna's energy.
Yeah.
So how can you give your time? What is offered? I'm asking, what is the oblation in the Japa Yajna?
It is our actions, karma.
Karma. Interesting.
The holy names, Prabhu.
The holy
Hare
names. You offer the holy names.
Hare Krishna, we are repeating it, right? Using our
We
voice,
offer
time.
our consciousness. Krishna is asking our consciousness, that consciousness which is attached to Maya. He's asking our heart, the soul, which is the seat of consciousness. And if you are consciously chanting the holy name, you should not be aware that you have senses, mind, intelligence, body also. If you are chanting, that is real chanting. You are not aware that you have a body. You are not aware that you have a senses. You are not aware that you have a mind. The pure conscious jiva is, offering his consciousness to the supreme consciousness, and that is Krishna consciousness. So we have to understand Japa Yagya. So even these, pranayam, the pranayam, when they are doing this, when they are paragatma, they can, nothing exists. There is no body, mind, senses. So if you are doing japa like this, you're only conscious of the mantra. You know, the in the Gyan Yoga, the jiva is offered through the instrument of Om. Om is the mantra. For us, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is, the Arpanam. The Arpanam is Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And it is offered through the, ear, and it is offered in the heart. That is the fire of Yagya. So like that we have to understand. Okay, now the other yagyas he mentioned. Dravya yagyash tapo yagya, yoga yagyas tatapare, swadhyaya jnana yagyascha, yatata samsita vrata. Others, apare yatata, yatata means to endeavor, Engage in severe vows, samsita vrata of charity, austerities, ashtanga yoga. Sorry, this is S has to be here. Ashtanga yoga. Dravyagya. Dravya means you offer dravyas, ingredients. Tapo yagya, austerity. And yoga yagya. Yoga yagya is referring here to ashtanga yoga. And study of the Vedas, swadhyaya yagya. Those who offer goods in charity, dravyagya. So if you are offering, somebody is giving blanket dan, actually is performing dravyagya. Those who offer austerity like Chandrayana Vrata, that's a tapoyagya. Those who engage in Ashtanga Yoga, that is Yoga Yagya. And those who put effort in engaging knowledge by studying the Vedas, all of these engage in very severe Vrata. So right now, which Yagya we are doing among the four here? Who will tell? Let us see how much you are able to grasp this concept of different Yagyas. Let's try to. Vinita Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it is Swadhyaya Yajna.
Yeah, Swadhyaya Yagya. This is study, This is also Yagya, where our consciousness is completely fixed. Our heart is fixed in hearing, the Shastra. And we should not be aware about hunger, thirst, senses, mind, intelligence, and this heart is absorbing, consciousness is absorbing in hearing the, sound vibration of the Shrutis, like the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur on this. All of these yajnas can be divided into four categories: Dravya Yagya, Tapo Yagya, Jnana Yoga Yagya, and Swadhyaya Jnana Yagya. The offering of various ingredients or offering charity is called Dravya Yagya. Performance of different austerities such as Chandrayana Vrata and Chaturmas Vrata is called as Tapo Yagya. The performance of Ashtanga Yoga, eightfold path of yoga, is called as Yoga Yagya. Endeavoring to understand the difference between matter and spirit by deliberating on the meaning of the Vedas is called Swadhyaya Jnana Yagya. For us, the most important Swadhyaya is Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. A person who is expert in performing these four types of yagyas is called Tikshna Vrata Yati. Okay, now the pranayam. Apane jivvati pranam, prane apanam tatapare, pranapana gati rudva, pranayama parayana, apare nihatahara, pranan praneshu jivvati. Here praneshu it is. Others dedicated to controlling the breath. So this is now pranayam. They are not Narayana Parayana, they are Pranayam Parayana. What to do? They are conscious of breath, they are not conscious of Narayan. So they perform this yagya, the pranayam process. They are pranayam parayana. Dedicated, they are dedicated to pranayam, controlling the breath, stopping the movement of pran and apan. Prana apana gati rudva. Offer the prana into the apan. Apane jivati pranam, prane apanam tata. Others, apare, controlling eating, nihata ahara, offer the senses into the pranas. So the senses want ahar. Now, what does ahar mean here? Let us see who will answer. Ahar. What does the word ahar mean here? Who will answer? What is the meaning of ahar? Yes, Sumit Kapoor Prabhuji.
Uh, Prabhuji, it is the sense objects.
It is the sense objects. So, what is the ahar for? Tell me the examples.
Say if the sense object is the taste, then we offer food to it. So that is the object.
The tongue. What is the tongue's ahar? Taste.
Taste.
Then
Then if it is nose, so it is the smell.
smell.
Mm.
Then
If it is skin, then the touch.
yes. Then
If it is eyes, so it is like beautiful objects,
forms.
forms. Yeah. Ear, it is sound.
So ahar also includes this and food.
Hmm.
So the pleasures in this world are only restricted to these three: sex, food, and sleep. These are the only three types of pleasures. Ahar. One is ahar. Ahar, which includes all these five plus this sixth. So this five plus this is the sixth one. So this is all coming under ahar. Second is sex, and third is sleep. These are the only pleasures available which we enjoy. So these others, apare, what they do is nihat ahar. They don't give ahar to the senses. So the senses are offered in the pranas. By the pranayam process, you can control that. So now, who will tell me what is the agno here and what is the oblation in this? Let us see. Who will tell this? Not even one. We discussed now so many yagyas in the last few verses. And the answer is there in the verse itself. Huh? You need not do any research. Navneet Kalra Mataji.
I will try, Prabhuji. Offering is the senses and agno is the prana.
Yes, offering is the offer the senses into the pranas. Praneshu jivvati. Jivvati means the fire. Praneshu means the pranas. So yes, okay, now let's go and go back to the table. The table is very important. So here you can see I mentioned the senses and the pranas, they offer it in the mind by yoga, and they realize the Atma and attain Brahman, the Kaivalvadi yogis. Now in the 29th, it is the breath. And here also it is breath only, in fact, the oblation, and they are offering in the pranas. And again, self-realization, Brahman, Hatha yogis. And then eating, ahar. The ahar they offer in the senses, they offer in the prana. Atma again, Brahman, these are the yogis. Okay. So this is how 29th is also discussed here. Okay. Okay. So others who are expert in pranayam offer the upward prana into the downward apana. When you inhale or exhale, when you exhale, the prana is going up, but the apana goes down, the stomach goes down, the stomach goes inside, so that's why apana. At the time of full inhaling, when they inhale, they merge the prana with the apana. At the time of full exhaling, rechak, this is kumbhak and rechak basically. Kumbhak, inhaling, rechak is exhaling. And when you hold, that is called as, purvak and rechak, sorry. Purvak and rechak. And when you inhale and hold, that is called as kumbhak. At the time of kumbhak, they stop the movement of both prana and apana and become completely absorbed in the practice of pranayama. Pranayama parayana. So, there are yogis even today in the Himalayas, I'll just share the video now so that you can understand. When you inhale and you hold, exhale. The exhale is rechak, inhaling is purvak, and when I hold, that is kumbhak. So like that, inhaling, exhaling, at one point they just go into kumbhak. They neither inhale nor exhale. And they just go into kumbhak, and through the body pores, the air is going inside the body and maintaining the body. So because they are not, our lifespan depends on the number of breaths. The more we lose our breaths, the more we are going to lose the lifespan. So that's how their lifespan increases, because they are not breathing, they have stopped breathing, Pranayama. Others designed to conquer the senses control the eating process. That is, they eat little. They offer the senses, pranan, into the pranas, which is subsisting on restricted eating. Prana, praneshu, jivvati. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Oh, still Vikshanacha Thakur. When the pranas become weak, because they are not given food, the senses being dependent on the pranas become incapable of grasping the sense objects. We all have experience when we become sick, na? The pranas have actually become weak. And that's why the sense objects, are not so attractive to us, And that's why they become merged in the pranas. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in the Vedic scriptures and the Smritis which follow the Vedic conclusion, there are 4 types of yagyas found. Apart from these yagyas, tantric scriptures give instructions according to different periods in order to expand the meaning of Vedas in the form of Hatha Yoga. So, this tantric scripture, it is the Hatha Yoga, and various types of yogas performed through pious activities. A person following these becomes fixed in pranayam and they offer the upgoing breath prana into the downgoing breath apana, and conversely offer the downgoing breath into the upgoing breath. Then by stopping both, they practice kumbhak. I mentioned to you kumbhak. They just practice kumbhak. Others minimize their eating and offer all their life heirs. So different yagas, there is literal Nishkam Karma Yoga, which was mentioned. There is the Sakama Karma Yoga, 425A and B. Apare Daivam Eva Apare Yagyam. Then offering the Atma to Brahman, this is Jnana Yoga. Restraining the senses, Naishtik Brahmacharis. Remaining indifferent to the action of the senses, that is Grahastha Brahmacharis. Restraining the senses and pranas, this is Jnana Yoga. Practicing of severe yogas, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, all that, charity, we mentioned. Controlling the breath, which was mentioned. And restraining eating, which was also mentioned just now. Now, Sarvyapyete Yagyavido Yagyashipitakalmasha Yagyashishtamrita Bhujo Yanti Brahma Sanatanam. All these knowers of sacrifice, Sarve Api Ete Yagyavido, destroy sin through sacrifice. Yagyashipita Kalmasha. Kalmasha is sin. Eating the sweet remnants of the sacrifice, Yagyashishtamrit. It is Shishtamrit here. Bhujo. Bhujo means to bhojan, like that. They attain the eternal Brahman. Yanti Brahma Sanatanam. So 3 fruits of yajna: impurities are removed, sins are removed. One enjoys the fruit of yajna even in this world, and one attains the supreme Brahman. All of those who know the characteristics of yajna described previously, yajna vida, attain Brahman by yajna, jnana, by jnana. The secondary unsought fruits are all here described. They enjoy the sweet remnants of yajna such as sense enjoyment and power, bhoga, aishwarya. That's why these yogis get a lot of powers, higher level of enjoyment. The sought result is then described, they attain Brahman. Next. Nayam lokasya ayagyasya kutoanya kurusattama. The person who does not perform sacrifice, ayagyasya, attains nothing in this life. Nayam loko asti. What to speak of? Next. Kuto anya. Kuto anya. O best of the Kurus, Kurusattama. The result of not acting in this way are described in this verse. One who does not perform yajna does not attain the little happiness available on this planet. What to speak of attaining the planet of Devatas? Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Therefore, Arjuna, O best of the Kurus, one who does not perform sacrifice cannot attain in this world. What to speak of the next? Therefore, sacrifice is certainly an obligatory duty. Certainly and nahi hai, an obligatory duty it is. From this, you should understand that the caste rules enjoyed in the Smriti, Shastra, Smriti, Varnashram, the eightfold yoga process, Vedic sacrifice, and so on are all part of sacrifice. Even Brahma Gyan is a special type of sacrifice. There is no prescribed duty in this world other than that of sacrifice. There is no prescribed duty in this world other than sacrifice, it should be. Everything else is prohibited or sinful activity. So if you're not performing yajna, you're committing sin. Continuously we should be performing yajna. Now why these so many yajnas? Evam bahovida yajna vitata brahmano mukhe karmajam vidditan sarvan evam gyatvam vimokshasi. Thus, the many types of sacrifices, evam bahuvida yagya, have been described in the Vedas. Vitata brahmana mukhe. Know that they are all based on prescribed actions of body, mind, and words. Karmajan vidditan sarvan. Knowing and practicing this, you will be liberated. Evam gyatva vimokshasi. Here it should be yes again. Brahmana means the Vedas. The phrase Vitata Brahmano Mukhe, whose literal meaning is spread in the mouth of the Vedas, actually means clearly spoken of by the Vedas themselves. Karmajan means based on the actions of body, mind, and words. So, based on different mentalities of the people, based on their karma, they have different mentalities. Somebody is more inclined towards yoga, somebody is more inclined towards karma, somebody is more inclined towards jnana. Why? Because of their association with the modes and association with kind of impressions they are carrying, of their kind of associations of sadhus they have. So, just like in a medicine shop, you don't have one medicine for all the diseases. You have different medicines for different diseases. So, different mentalities are there. So, different yagyas are there. All these types of yagas are either mentioned in the Vedas or in scriptures which follow the Vedic conclusions. They are all born from prescribed duties pertaining to the body, mind, and words. In other words, they are born from karma. By deliberating on this type of karma tattva, you will be liberated from the bondage of karma. So, three times now, Krishna has spoken about how when you do karma yoga as a dharma, you will not be entangled, but you will be liberated. Understanding kim karma, kim akarma, kavayopya tatre Tatya karma yagyatma moksha sheshubat, Krishna spoke, right? 4.16. So, understanding all these yagyas also, one will become free from bondage of karma. Now he does a comparison. Shreyan dravya maya yagyat jnana yagya parantapa sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. O afflictor of enemies, parantapa, the sacrifice involving jnana yagya, is higher than the sacrifice of materials. Shreya dravyamayat yagyaj. Dravya means the ingredients which you offer, materials. With attainment of knowledge, Jnane, O son of Partha, Pratha, all actions cease. Sarvan karma akilam parisamapyate. So basically, what Krishna is giving a deeper knowledge. Again, let's go to 2.47. There is Gyan in the Nishkam Karma Yogi that I am not the doer and I should not desire the fruits. And ultimately, when you become Sthita Pragya, this is called as Jnana Nishta, where you're self-realized. So all these actions of karma yoga, nishkam karma yoga, we mean, there is elevation in jnana. Your jnana elevation happens higher. And which jnane parisamapyate, when it completely, uh, when there is complete attainment of knowledge, your jnana nishta, then all action cease. Sarva karma kilam parisamapyate. So that means actions then don't give any reactions. So this is what is called as a karma. This is a karma. Among these sacrifices, the Jnana described in verse 25 with the words Brahmagno Apareyagyam Yagyevano Pajivati is superior to the sacrifice of material objects such as obligations of ghee described in verse 25. Why? With the attainment of knowledge, all actions will bear fruit. Akhilam are finished. Because Jnanagni Dagda Karmana. After attaining knowledge, reactions to work no longer will remain. So there is no reactions to work. Krishna had spoken, Buddhi yukta jahatiha ube sukrite dushkrite. In that 2.51 also. Although all these sacrifices, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, gradually lead to transcendental knowledge, then peace, and finally auspicious in the form of bhakti as it dawns on the living entity, still there is something to be considered. From the above group of sacrifices, a person may sometimes perform either Dravame Yagya, ceremonial rites and sacrifices, or at other times, depending on his faith, may perform Jnanamaya Yagya, a sacrifice resulting in transcendental knowledge. The second type of sacrifice is far superior to the first because, O Partha, all prescribed duty culminates in transcendental knowledge. Jnana Parisamapate. Sarvam Karma Akilam Jnane Parisamapate. when the performance of any sacrifice does not involve deliberation on that which is transcendental, if the deliberation is not on transcendent, then the whole activity is simply ritualistic. So this is the point I wanted to make. So based on the level of your deliberation, the yajna which you are performing, based on the deliberation, it can be ritualistic or completely spiritual. It depends on the. However, when the goal is spiritual progress, despite being ceremonial, the sacrifice becomes spiritualized or transcendental and lose their fruiting materialistic nature. You know, the aspect of sacrifice which consists of material rituals, dravamaya, only is called karma kanda. Where there are only material rituals, dravya is there. It's karma kanda. One must remain very conscious of this distinction while performing yajna. So that ends the discussion on all these different types of sacrifices. The last part is glory of Divya Gyan, who is going to speak. That we'll take up in the next class. So any questions, any clarifications anyone has? Yes, Vinita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, that graph that you explained from 2.47 till 4.33, please could you explain
2.53.
it one? Yeah, could you please explain it once more?
Basically, when you perform Nishkam Karma Yoga, there is Gyan that I should not desire the fruits. You're doing this Karma Yoga with Gyan, with the element of Gyan is there, so that I can purify myself, Because if you desire the fruits, then you'll get entangled. Self-realization will not happen. The bondage between the soul and body will become thickened. So to have a self-realization, you have to disentangle it. So when you don't desire the fruits, then it loosens. So we begin Nishkam Karma with this Gyan, and I'm not the doer. There is Prakriti and there is ultimately the Bhagavan who gives the fruits. So like that, as you perform and attain these higher states, then the jnana element increases. And then when the antakaran is purified fully, then your sthita pragya, samadho achala buddhi, tada yogam avapsiti, you are to know. So the karma akilam, what? Jnane parisamapate. So the karma now dissolves completely because it has matured into transcendental knowledge, gyan. That's why all actions yield no reactions from that level onwards. That's what is being discussed. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, Sumit Kapoor Prabhuji, last question.
Yes, Prabhuji, just wanted to understand, like, as you are mentioning, Sakam Karma Yoga. So this Sakam Karma is actually with a motive of, enjoying the fruits of the action. So how can we understand this? This is also yoga.
No, that's what I technically explained. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning that why it is called as yoga, why they are called as yogis, because they are taken a vow to perform yajna. And ultimately their goal is to, offer, ingredients. Dravyamaya it is. Dravya means ingredients. So they can attain Swarga. And you see, there is there is at a, at one level, there is an understanding that I'm Atma. I've dealt this already in the second chapter. First level, first application of Atma Gyan. Because you're planning to go to heaven. Do you have the knowledge that I'm not this body? Because you are not going to go in the cell body. That means I'll give up this body and I'll take up another body. That means I am eternal Atma. So there is that level, but it is mostly the consciousness that is in the body because you want to enjoy senses, So like that, there is a gradual, purification of the goal happening. In that sense, the karma yoga is mentioned there. But strictly proper, Bhaktivinoda Thakur also in the last purport he mentions they are called as, karma kandis. They are called as karma kandis. Yoga means, linking to transcendence, to Brahman or spirit soul. Nishkama Karma Yoga is done with the goal to realize the self. The self is transcendental. So then it is called as yoga. So that's a little technical difference. But here they are called because of twofold reasons I mentioned. One, which Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, because they are performing, they have taken a vrata to perform yajna. Another reason which I'm mentioning is there is a gradual elevation in the, means, you know. Ah,
Okay.
I
So,
gave the example of the school boy going to the school. The goal is to attain knowledge, but he goes because he's motivated that I'll get the chocolate. But as he goes on attending, then he starts relishing studying. Then no more in the consciousness is that oh no, in the evening when I go back, I'll get chocolate. Like that, he'll slowly elevate, and that's in that sense also it is called as yoga. Is it clear?
yeah, so what I understood is like when that action is performed, say some kind of a karam kand yagya, so the immediate benefit is the material benefit or the gratification of the senses, but the ultimate benefit is purification of the heart, which will lead to the transcendent, like the
Yeah, transcendental goal.
trans-
It'll come to Nishkam Karma Yoga. Sakam Karma Yoga will definitely come to Nishkam Karma Yoga.
got
That's
it. Yes, thank you so
okay.
much.
Okay, so thank you very, very much. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So now Monday to Friday we'll have the same timings, 7:15 to 8:30. Thank you very much. Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.